Hello everybody and welcome back to Blender 3D Basics. Today we are going to be making an alphabet block. In order to do that, we are going to be using a text object for our letters, a cube for our block, and the boolean modifier command to join the letters to the block. We're also going to be using the convert to convert our text objects to meshes, and we are going to be messing around a little bit with the origins of our model. So there's about 4 different concepts that we could learn in there, and we are going to go through all of them. This video is going to go nice and smooth. It's going to be easy. You're going to clearly be able to see and learn everything you need to learn, and let's get started. We're going to start off with going to add up here on the top left, go to text, and we have our text down there, and we are just going to go into edit mode and remove that text in favor of a single letter, capital A. So with that done, we can now go back into object mode, and we see our A here. I'm going to go to top view for the moment, and I'm going to scale this by 2, hit enter, and we can see it real nice here in top mode, but in a minute we're going to go to the right orthographic mode, and we can't see a single thing. So not a big deal. We're going to just pull this A up 90 degrees. We're going to rotate it 90 degrees on this x-axis here. So let's go. R, I'm going to choose the x-axis. You can't see it because we're looking directly at it, but trust me, it's chosen. We're going to key in 90 and hit enter. And there we go. He is up. And now it's looking a little thin, so what we want to do is beef it up a little bit. And in order to do that, we're going to go down here to the object data for the text, and we are going to extrude it. Well, first we'll select the geometry, and then we'll extrude it right here. Extrude 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And now we've got some thickness to this guy. And we're going to mess around down here with the bevel a little bit too, and you can see the model changing there in the screen. And bevel it 2 times, and maybe bump up the resolution 3 times. Yeah, 3 is fine. Anyway, so that's looking pretty good for our purposes, I think. And I think I'm going to need 3 more of these because there's 4 sides to a block. And I'm going to do Shift D. And let's get our move gizmo gadget over here, 3D manipulator, whichever you want to call it. Shift D. Shift D. So there we go. We've got 4 of them. I'm just going to select them and move them out of the way so that when I put my cube here in another second, they don't get stepped on. So Shift A, mesh, cube. There we go. So far so good, right? So now we have our A, our first A, and we have his origin point here. And we want to align it with this 3D cursor here. But we don't want to align it where it is right now because, well, watch what happens when I do Shift S, selection to cursor. That is off center. That is not going to work for our cube. We need everything to be centered and even. So we're going to do Control Z, put that back where it was, and we're going to do a right click, set origin, origin to center of mass. Now this origin point is in the center of our letter, and it will center with this cursor right here when we tell it to do so. So normally, if you're in the middle of a model, you would have to pretty much center your cursor. and your origin points. You can do that in a couple of different ways. In our situation, you could do cursor to selected, selection to cursor. You can set the origin to 3D cursor. There are different options in there, and just play around with whichever one you think is best. And in our situation, our cursor is already centered, so we don't have to worry about it. If this cube were off center, I could do a Shift C, and if we were in Blender 2.79, it would center, but we're not. So we're going to do geometry to, we're going to start off, to get it back, we're going to have to go right click, origin, and then origin to 3D cursor. Now we have our origin back at our 3D cursor. And geometry to origin, and we're back. We are back in the center. So anyway, we're going to go here to A, and we are going to do, now we're ready for Shift S, selection to cursor. Our A is in the middle of our cube, and transparent mode, you can see it's in there. Take that off, and now we are going to move it on the y-axis to pull it out to the face of our cube. So here we go. We're going to do G, Y, and we're going to do 1. It's going to pop out the other side there, and it's all looking good. So we're going to do that same exact thing with this one. A, right click, origin to center of mass, Shift S, selection to cursor. This time we're going to do G, Y again, this time in -1 to get it on the other side. And that's looking pretty symmetrical. So now we have this one. We're going to go back to top view. We're going to do R, because we need to rotate him with the faces on the x-axis. So we're going to rotate him 90 degrees. And he's now facing the right way. We're going to right-click, set origin, origin to center of mass, Shift S, selection to cursor. And this time on the x-axis, let's do 1. And we're going to do G to move, this time X, 1. And here he is over here. Nice. So now we're going to go back to our top view, R, 90, set origin to center of mass. None of this stuff is that difficult, so you guys should be able to get it. It's pretty, I'm using a simple model here, so it's all clear and easy to see what's going on. So we're in the center, and G, -1, enter, and now we have our text objects on the faces of our mesh object. However, in order to join them so that they all move together, because right now they're separate, they are all separate, I'm going to have to convert them. I'm going to have to make believers out of these guys and show them that being a mesh is clearly better than being a piece of text. So convert to mesh from curve, meta, surf, or text. And that's our boy right there. That is going to do the job. Select it, and we go to the edit mode. You can see it's now a mesh. So we're going to do that. We're going to select all 3 of the remaining ones and convert to mesh. And we're going to go into edit mode, just double check. And this guy is already a mesh. So they're all lined up. They're all meshes. They are ready to be joined. They can join the cult of the cube. Here we go. Add modifier. Boolean intersect. We're going to want to take that off and switch it to union. I'm going to select the eyedropper and select this A here. You can see this discoloration. Don't worry about that. That's a good thing. That just means that our original geometry is underneath and it's kind of messing up the view for the moment. But we will take care of that. And we're going to do this one now. We're going to do another add modifier, boolean. And see what happened? I forgot to take it off of intersect. So we're going to do that. We're going to switch it to union. So if you forget, you can just switch it. It is not a big deal. And apply. Go to the next one. Add modifier, boolean. Change it to union. Eyedropper. And select this A here. Apply. And I believe this is the last one. Add modifier, boolean. And we do have the drop-down menu. If you ever wanted to just use the drop-down menu, you can do that. I find this a little easier. You never know what object you're on or selecting. I mean, you could figure it out, but it's just easier for me to use the eyedropper. So there you go. We've got them all done. We're going to hit apply on the last one. Now I'm going to move my box up and over. You guys, thank you. Job well done. You are dismissed. Goodbye. And that's it. We have our cube with our letters on it, and we can texture it and put colors on it, and then whatever it is we want to do with it in another video. Right now, I just think I'm going to hop over into shading and take a look at it from a more polished view. And that's it. Hey, if you guys like this video, remember to like it and subscribe. We'll be seeing you soon again with more videos. I hope you learned something. And so long for now. We'll see you soon. Bye.